you build commander skill every tier 10 season. And it should encourage you captain. Yes.
Ancient stations.
So many times you captain on crazy like 1 points and everything or whatever. What I've just used is this. So I'm gonna redistribute this and we'll talk about CB talents, because I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people here that are curious because like, whoa, everything changed, what the hell? So in terms of carrier stuff, each commanders now have 4 different pages. They have carriers, they have cruisers, they have destroyers, they have battleships, and eventually they'll have submarines. And when they're put on one of those things, you get your own little windows where you can put them, specialize them to a thing. So this is the carrier screen. These talents cost 1 point, these 2 points, these 3 points, these 4 points. For the Hikuri, Japanese planes, they do high damage. Take a long time to set up an attack bomb, but that's basically what's a very long telegraphed attack. So here we've got some energy talents that can give us more boost. So it's nice. Boost can help us slow down, it can help you speed. But you don't need boost to do the job. This talent can give you an additional aircraft in your little defensive thing that's over your hull, which you don't need. So it really comes down to aircraft restoration time, which means you get planes faster. So I think faster help you still do things, so more planes. And I was using the planners that we'll talk about that in a second. So for basic more, this is going to make the planes go faster. They have very little health, they rely on speed. On speed, this is basically all planes, but definitely you want it in the Japanese. Help you. This reduces the amount of damage you take when you're shot by AA by 2%. It's a little bit, but everything that helps. This gives you more help. Everything after this is like, actually have an emote, which is more faster, healthier, stealthier, which would actually be replaced by this hidden menace, but unfortunately this is bugged right now. It reduces your hold on the siege detection, but it slows the planes returning, which is okay. If they take longer to get back to the carrier, that's okay. But they also take longer to get out. So when they shoot, then they climb bigger. Now, you don't get the planes back. So that sucks. So unfortunately, this is not currently working as intended. More of what the damage you throw. So our damage, our torch do 9,300 damage, so give us another 930 damage if we're hitting torpedo protection. We're not hitting torpedo protection, it doesn't do it. But if we do hit torpedo protection, an additional 933 damage, damage there actually goes to it. So it's not that you need more damage, it's that you use less damage when you're striking an opponent on like randoms or something, but the competitive thing, I took all of these planes. Why? Because this increases the control range of the fight by 10%, it makes that circle bigger. The planes come into the circle, after a little bit of time, those planes start to control range, and then they start to fight like they can chase them. This gives you more of those consumables, so instead of having 3 control fighters across 2 different types of planes, you have 4. So you get 12 altogether instead of 9. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. For a 10-minute match, instead of 12-minute match, most matches go 10 to 15 minutes. Having 12 instead of 9 is really big. This is a great 2-point count. So it gives you a control radius. It makes you immune to enemy patrol fighters. So sometimes if you put fighters down here, put fighters over here, kind of path to each other, they shoot each other real quick. Nothing happens. Each other, nothing. That's why you put it there. Unless they get shot down by a ship, or they shoot down enemy planes and blow them out. And lastly, there's enhanced reactions. What this does is a little confusing. When the planes fly down, when you call them, they take 5 seconds before they start patrolling, start doing the thing. Well, what this does, it takes longer for the planes to come in. Even though enhanced reactions, they're faster, right? But instead of taking 5 seconds to come down and start patrolling, it takes 7.5. But the difference comes in is whenever the planes come into the patrol range, instead of having 2 seconds before they go, oh, there's planes over there, and then chase it, they do it immediately. We're basically so as soon as somebody comes up the place, then they go in and they immediately go after rather than just kind of like, okay, you left window. You don't want that. You want it to latch. You want it to go after the thing. It does reduce the action time of the consumable, however, which is kind of rough. Fighter consumable 60 seconds, that takes it down to 45. 7.5 of which is it just showing up. So if you do this, you actually kind of have to. At least in my opinion. This is the slot. Fighter releases it down to 67.5. 7.5 of when it's coming down, and then 60 seconds on station. Why do you do this? Because if you take the time to fly all the way over to the friendly ships and give them a fighter, you need it to stay there or do something. Because if it's just going to go down every 30 seconds, you just keep having to fly back and fly back and fly back, you're not getting anything done. So having the additional time means you can do this and then go on every single. If you're not going for a fighter, you don't want to do defensive. You want to put offensive. You're definitely taking this. You throw torque. So what counter? Your damage is better. Damage. Outside of this, there's really nothing else. It says this is a recommended skill, 0.34 damage on your AP bombs. That's nothing. That's terrible. This is a waste of points. This is crap. So the answer to that is never. So you can have 6 and get a 21-point commander, you have 8. So where would you put the you can put it in. You can double down into the torps. This reduces the arming distance. When you drop the torps, they take the amount of space before they arm. So that allows you to drop a little closer to the target, which means you're probably a little more likely to hit the target. Your torps go fast. And there's another one. I think the one matters. I think it's really a German gimmick as far as CVs go. I don't think you need more aiming, faster aiming time. Everybody'd like to aim faster though, so that's an option. If you wanted to take this, then you could take one of the 1-pointers that suits your case. Maybe additional patrol lane, or more engine, something like that. The more engine moves, the more patrolling. Probably one of those. You could take flak reduction. If you watched just now, we got hit with flak. It happened. Now people will say dodge flak, this, whatever, but still going to happen. RNG will place the little pump somewhere, and you're going to interact with it. You will take damage. You don't know when that damage is going to be. You do everything you can to avoid it and minimize it, but it's going to happen because it's just the fact of the matter. So if you want to reduce RNG, you can take that so that when you do hit the flak, you take a little less damage. If this flak hurts, that's a choice for you. So this is kind of playing defensively. Personally, I think there's almost no build where you should ever not have this because this is just extremely useful. Personally, I would just got one basically good on everything. This is legit. And then additional stuff. The patrol fighters do two things. They shoot down enemy planes, but they can also spot enemy ships. Sometimes that can be really helpful. It can be really helpful for your team to allow them to know where somebody is to shoot at them, give them more information. Having more of these is good. Now, if you take interceptor, they don't spot enemy ships. But if you're taking interceptors, probably because you want to defend people, having more planes to defend them with is also good. There's almost no way, no build where this is not useful. So this is probably the offensive picture, and swap this over here. We'll set this way for now, as though we're doing stuff in like if we're doing stuff in randoms. So people can ask some questions, let me answer some questions, and then we can look at the next carrier. The other carriers, the German ones were taking the secondary skill. No, absolutely not. The YouTube channel, yes, I think somebody did the exploration YouTube thing. I upload stuff from the stream. I don't make specific YouTube content. Mostly I just stream like Twitch stuff. So I stream every day from 5 to 7, and obviously sometimes I go late. Today it's past 7. I live in Atlanta, so on Eastern Standard Time. And I will occasionally upload lessons or upload reactions to certain things. Sometimes people put there are a lot of people sometimes there's things so I can add additional context, which I'll do. But receptors and stuff, we can make it mention, explain stuff it's bug, correct? Additional build for Germans will probably be the same. Will Conda be the same as the Hakuryu? Yes, in this format, yes, because the Kaga's biggest thing is going to be its biggest thing is going to be its torpedoes. That being said, because the Kaga has 18 bombs, you might consider getting demolition expert, because you drop 4 bombs plus 5% fire chance, it's plus 20% fire chance if you get all 4. You've already got some pretty good fire chance. Just make sure it's even more likely to get fires. I would look at this. But also specs are free for this patch. That is correct. So when you hit this redistribute button, you'll notice sale 0. You can change this for like the next month as much as you want over and over again. It's free. Alright, so we looked at the Hakuryu. So this is the offensive Hakuryu build. Let's look at the MPR, because Sakura had just asked us about an MPR content, so why don't we just figure that out? So what's the stuff that's going to happen on basically every CD ever? More planes is better than less planes. More planes. Healthier planes are less dead. More faster, healthier. This is healthier right now, so please don't take this out. So that's going to be the first 9 points. If we have another 10, or if we had a 21-point captain, we'd have another 12. So, what does the MPR want? Well, the MPR has something actually pretty cool about it. It has 2 heal pistols. There's rockets, there's torps, and the bombs both have heal pistols. So this makes the heal not only longer, which it was already pretty cool, but it gives you 10% more time. It's not a lot of time, but it's something. It's not 3, that gives you 4. That's pretty amazing. You're going to get a lot of value out of that. 12 that's pretty badass. I would usually take this regardless. So even if you put full fighter build or whatever. So this is obviously the fighter defense tree. If you wanted to balls deep into that. And then what would be offensive? The non-fighter super ass build. We've got 8-10 points to work with. Don't need 6 to have an MPR. This additional secondary range and better dispersion. It's not that you expect to use your secondaries on drones, but they won't stop. So if it comes down to it, it's actually kind of nice to have. So can recommend. That would be okay. The 12 damage is pretty minimal. The amount of damage that you're doing on the other stuff, the 12 damage is probably like only a fourth of it. So you're not going to get a lot of value out of this. Again, you're going to have other twin talents. You're really not going to need those. That's not going to be something you're going to specialize in. You could look into this if you want to reduce RNG. That's definitely a choice. This would give you additional secondary reload as well as more AA, but I don't think that's necessary unless you're really trying to play an individual sort of way. Another thing I could really think of is going to be the bomb flight controls. So the bombs go faster. There's something that's a unique thing with its bombs. The bombs come in so quickly, they come high up. They aim so quickly that they can drop. The other points are going to continue, but if you immediately hit F to recall, they're already so close to the cloud cover that they just leave. So you're not at risk. You don't take, you're technically at risk a little, but they're really risk at all. Because of how close they are, they're just leave. Technically, you take the risk. Oh, there's no adrenaline rush anymore. That's right. Okay, well, so you might think of this if you wanted to like do some kind of thing with the bombs where you're just going in, strike once, get out, going in, strike once, get out, going in, strike once, get out. But I don't think you need to do that. And they're already really fast as is. So I think at this point you have 2 points, technically 6 points left. The rockets, that's a meme. If you do 20,000 rocket damage shot, you're only adding 600 damage. So like that's just totally a meme. I don't think that's worth it. They would have to buff this to like 6%. Or I don't know. There's a number where this would matter, and I don't think that number is it. I think 3% is pretty shit. So most likely I'll take this because I think the additional patrol fighters are just absolutely monstrously great. And I guess if you have no other options, what else goes towards the 453? You drop 3 of them. 150 extra damage. This would be 200 extra damage for every 10,000. This is tough, man. You're 4 points. I don't know. This one's going to be a personal preference. This will hit a little harder. This will do a little more damage. This will do more damage than that because the torps are extremely fast. They're very accurate, which is a strength of the Richthofen. So I think you actually do go for this.